Mike, you and I have been having some serious discussion around the future of consolidated coaching, kind of what we're going to do, the feedback we've been getting, quite frankly, the excuses that we've been getting, whether it's just people being polite. I don't know, man. So, I've been a bit frustrated, but also really excited about a few things that are coming. What can we talk about, man?
So yeah, I think we should talk about where our heads are at, what we want to do with consolidated coaching, kind of what the positives and the negatives are that we've been receiving, kind of seek some feedback from the group and figure out what's going to make the most sense moving forward. Because Scott, you and I have talked a lot about, what are our goals as a coaching program? Do we want to take loan officers that are already successful to an extent, already know how to make money, and teach them how to make even more and grow even more? Or do we want to take new loan officers and teach them to have a sustainable career? Or do we want to forget about individuals, and do we want to attempt the moonshot goal of elevating the entire mortgage business? And so the price point and the deliverability of what we're doing, I think, plays a lot into what are our goals as a company. And
Right.
so, maybe you want to share a little bit of the background, kind of the behind the scenes conversation that we've been having and why we're having difficulty figuring out what to do.
Yeah, well, I can tell you my business partner, Justin Bale, kind of hit the nail on the head when he said, you and Mike are intellectual philanthropists. You and Mike are intellectual philanthropists. And the problem and the solution is that you guys give so freely of yourself and so much of your time, frankly, without having a concern over making a profit, because consolidated coaching has not turned a noticeable profit in the couple of years that we've been doing it. There's been other altruistic benefits, promotions and opportunities, and just, upping our game by surrounding ourselves with a sphere of great people, but hasn't really made us money. And the intellectual philanthropy, I'm going to be honest, is just wearing on me. I was just looking through a few of the people that have canceled the membership, and something as simple as, hey, Scott, I'm in your coaching program. Can I get just a few minutes of your time to talk through a potential company change? So, on a Saturday, I take time away from my family. That turns into an hour-long conversation. We talk through all the pros and cons of changing companies, how to set it up, what to do. Basically for the $200 a month this individual is paying, got some free high-level one-on-one coaching. Sends me a very complimentary email about how it was a great decision, easy transition. I really helped set her up for success, put her mind in the right space. She's doing more business. She's going to make more money than she's ever made. By the way, can I go ahead and cancel my coaching because I'd like to save that $200 a month, since my new company has some, average to below average high-level one-on-one coaching. And my mind is just blown how many people have said, hey, Scott, Mike, really appreciate you teaching this old dog new tricks. I did what you said she's ever made, and went and got a bunch of new deals. Thanks. Can I go ahead and cancel my coaching? Or, Scott, I'm making more money than I ever have, but I just got rear-ended and money's a little tight. Can you cancel my coaching for 2 months? I've got to save the $200. And I'm just looking at it and saying, are most loan officers just scared to give us constructive criticism on what we need to do to improve the program? That's one of the things, and it's probably true because I think we've built a pretty great community and people don't want to hurt our feelings and they don't realize how thick our skin is. Number two, are that many loan officers really hurting that much for a couple $100, even though we work in an industry where your income earning potential is unlimited, that they just can't fathom spending $200 on personal development? And we've talked to Michael Ullman and Arash Gezersey and a couple other people about this, or is it the situation where loan officers are just fucking lazy and they think that for $200 a month, we're going to give them some silver bullet, some script, some, stake through the heart of the vampire of hard work, and money's just going to rain from the sky and they're going to make $500,000. And then when they realize, you actually have to put the work in, they're like, well, why am I going to pay $200 for somebody to tell me to work? I know I need to work, and I'm just too lazy to do it. So my mind is blown. I don't know which direction to go. We've talked about lowering the price, increasing the price, charging separately for the live events, which I think have been adding an insane amount of value. And I'm we're at an impasse where like, I don't know how to best serve the audience that we want to take care of. Or maybe we're building a tribe that I don't want to lead because half of them aren't going to be in the fucking business in 2 years. You know, so how much money do I want to plow into somebody, or how much time and energy do I want to take away from my business and my family to plow into somebody who talks a big game, presents themselves as a big producer, drives $100,000 car, and then gets in touch with me to let me know that they're taking a job in another career field and they really, really like that $200 back because it really means the difference between them paying their rent or not. And I'm just like, mind blown. Why are we building this tribe that I don't want to lead? It's insane.
Yeah, totally agree. And that's the big question, you know, and this is what, by the way, the reason we're live right now is we're looking for feedback. So comment on this, post on this. What do we do, right? Do we lower the price to something that's ridiculously low so everybody, A, can afford it, and B, not justify saying they can't, and create this broad spectrum group where we're giving a little bit of value to a lot of people? And if you want more, you want something higher level, something that's more insider, then you pay to play for more, right? You pay to get into that room with the top producers. Or do we just elevate the price and get rid of all those people and try to do what the core does and only invite already successful people in?
Yeah.
And you and I have a lot of thoughts around that. My perspective on it is we create an inclusive environment where there's a basic level program that almost anybody can afford that's going to give them a bit of value. And then those people who are smart enough to know that they need to invest in themselves until it hurts in order to be successful will do that and show up at the live events and show up for the better offerings. But at least everybody can be served by some foundational level of coaching.
And I think here's the dilemma, right? And I was talking to my business partner and some management about this, is if I really believe my own thesis, if I believe the stuff that we've been talking about, that half of loan officers are not going to be in the industry within 5 years because interest rates are going up, people inherently want to be lazy and don't want to put in the work, a lot of people are going to get automated out of the business. That's just a fact. If I believe that, then who do we want to serve? Do we want to take the people that are in the mid-tier and try to sow into their success so we can get them to this level so that they can get to that level of individual private coaching or group coaching, or the case may be? Do we want to try to save the masses from themselves and offer them some low dollar offering at $50 a month or something like that so that everybody can get value out of it? We talk about behind the scenes, the core a lot, and I've been hesitant to talk about one of our competitors publicly in an open space like this. But the reality is, and what we're figuring out, there's a reason that they contractually make you sign up for a year and then charge you a 3-month penalty if you cancel. And they were somewhere around $400 a month. I think you can get a discount code to $200 a month. So you're looking at a $900 cancellation. Most people just say, screw it, I'll continue on at $300 a month. And it either puts you in the system for a year where then you then wake up and realize you need coaching, or it guilts you into taking advantage of some of the stuff because you know you're going to be paying for it for a year. So, I don't like the idea of contracts. I don't like the idea of, shackling people with pain and expense if they don't think we're adding value. But we've set up this system where we give everybody such an easy out that instead of saying, hey, you know what, it's a rough month, I'm not making a lot of money, I got to spend $200 to invest in myself and double down on my efforts and go into the knowledge vault and watch some sales tips on how to get more deals. Or I can just take the easy way out and cancel a membership and save my $200. I get why the core does it. And, I'm just reading some of the stuff. I have their whole playbook here. It's like, buy plastic footballs and send them to people and say, I want to be on your team. Around Halloween, buy plastic witches and send them to your referral partners and say, I wish I was on your team. I mean, this is not the kind of stuff that you and I are ever going to fall in love with. And by the way, I will say that there is a boatload of people that have been wildly successful going through the core coaching, because at the end of the day, there's a large cross section of people that if they're in any type of accountability program, they'll be successful. That being said, I know that we don't want to completely emulate the core, but they've got some things that they're doing right in the fact that they hold people accountable. They sign you up for a year and you can't get out of jail without paying a large penalty. And then they take their higher echelon people and they put them all in a room together and charge them $5,000 or $2,000 a month. Maybe that's the direction. Maybe we abandon everybody and the Facebook group can be left to its own demise, and we coach 5 or 10 people for $2,000 a month, because you and I know for certain that we have the chops to take those people from, earning $300,000 a year to $500,000 a year. I know that we have those chops, end of story. I know that we have those systems because you and I have both done it and lived it. Maybe that's the direction. And we let the Facebook group fight amongst themselves and we coach 10 people for $2,000 a month. I don't know what the answer is, man.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle. Do I have any interest in convincing somebody to invest in themselves to be successful? Absolutely not. I think the cost of entry to any coaching program is you need to want to be better tomorrow than you are today. And if you don't really want that, then you have no business being anywhere near a coaching program. That said, I don't think we abandon everybody and go high end. I think it's got to be somewhere in between. And so that's why, I think we go back to the model where we create a baseline level where everybody can buy in and get just enough content to where if they invest in themselves by doing the things they need to do, being accountable to themselves and to the other people in the group, and follow the systems, they'll do more business. And when they do more business, they'll have that question will come up again. Do I stop here, or do I reinvest that extra money to go to the next level? And then have multiple levels where people can climb up through the system. But frankly, at the very basic level, you and I cannot be putting our energy into those people as much as we currently are. We have to draw a line somewhere and say, if you want Scott, you want Mike, you want one-on-one personal relationship, personal coaching, it's got to start at this threshold. We're going to give you the tools to get there, but you need to make it happen to get there. So, to me, that seems like the great compromise. But how do we do that, Scott?
I don't know. I'm just looking through some other emails. Hey, thank you both, Scott and Mike. The last 30 days have made my head so clear. I've gone back to the basics and know that I have not utilized so much of what's available to me. Having been in sales for over 40 years, I see you guys as a great tool and have gotten more business out of your guys' tutelage than I have in the last 12 months of listening to my own managers. Thanks for your help. Please cancel my membership. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What? Are you kidding me? So anyway, I think it'd be fair to show. I know that I could pay $200. I know that I could charge. You could charge. We could charge $200 a month just for the access to the stuff that's already built, and I would feel totally fine about that because I know there's a shit ton of stuff. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And part of this is my frustration with, we had elevated customer service and my availability, access to me, access to you, access to Chris, who I appreciate you sitting there silently taking notes, access to them to oh, hey, can you reset my password? Can you do this? Instead of them just doing a simple Google search of their own email to see what was available to them and what their password was, we set that precedent that when we weren't responding within 12 minutes, I think people kind of just put it out of sight, out of mind. So I just wanted to show you this. Mike, can you see my screen?
Yeah, you may want to, can you maximize it any more?
Probably.
It's fine the way it is, but if you could blow it up more, that'd be helpful. There you go. That's good.
All right. So this is the login to the,
Knowledge Vault.
Consolidated Coaching Online. And you and I, first to admit that we had some logistical challenges with a service provider and some passwords were screwed up and we just kind of had a real mess going on there for a while. But basically, anybody that's going to pay to be in the program going forward will have access to this. And everything that you and I have ever recorded in effectively any iteration of Consolidated Coaching is in here. So there's always kind of a featured lesson. When we did the 66-day challenge, it's here. If you want to go back and review the 66-day challenge of lead generation, you can watch all 65 videos here. There's additional lessons, a Kickstart series, all of the archived webinars, guests that we've done, the original series, 3 months to a more productive loan officer. all these things, if you and I had the interest, we could go back in and recreate these as single one-off products for $599, $999, and we could sell them online like Todd Duncan does or the Core does or whoever. But like, who wants to go through all that bullshit when if people would just take the time to log in and check this out, they would have a wealth of information here. And I know people that, because we can see this on Infusionsoft, that never logged into this and then sent frustration emails saying, hey, I just didn't feel like I was getting enough out of it. It's like, well, you never opened the 5 emails that told you to log in here. You never logged in here. You never watched a video or downloaded any of the stuff. So, just do me a favor and say that, like that boiler room line, tell me you don't like my fucking tie. Tell me I'm horrible. Tell me you don't want to buy stock from me. But don't tell me there's no value because you just didn't go try to find it.
I would be hard to say that most members have not logged in.
Most members have not logged into the stuff. Yeah. So
I'm 50% of the creator of this content, and I log in and watch it every day, and then remember to like practice it so I can do business. I mean, there's no excuse not to watch it.
Yeah. I managed it and I see the 3 views on a video that had a ton of value. So.
Yeah. So here's a good example. Tax time is coming up and you're trying to get some marketing out. Here is a email template you can cut and paste that basically says who's going to screw up their tax plan this year. You just retype this or cut and paste it. I don't care. There's a ton of marketing archive here. There's probably 200 hours of video. So that's that. And just for a more easy to see representation, here's all of our Vimeo links. This is basically 400 hours of one-off trainings, 10 minutes, 23 minutes, 2 hours, an hour. Vimeo obviously feeds into the Knowledge Vault, so kind of repetitive there, but all those videos are here. And then what we're going to launch this next month is Coach Accountable, which is our accountability system. And I've been playing with this a little bit, going through with some testers. I logged out. Whoops. Hold on. Must remember my password. Oh, come on, people. All right, there we go. So I've been doing this testing myself. So open pick. This is basically an overview of the course that we now have built out, about 50 steps to get yourself into a better methodology to track calls, to do your accountability. And every day at the end of the day, I get a text message where it just says, okay, it comes in around 2 o'clock, so that way I have some time to make my calls if I haven't made it yet. How many calls have you made? The goal is 5 a day. So it just tracks my metrics here. How many calls to new realtor referral partners have you made during the day? It's been 0 a couple times. It was 18 one day. I guess I was really motivated last Thursday. And this is just a daily text message accountability that's coming through to me. This is going to launch for any of our members. In addition to this, check this out. This is insane. I'm pretty excited about this to launch it to our members. This is our basically workflow to go through digital coaching so that we can be left alone but add a ton of value. And here's kind of just all the steps. Obviously, you got to acknowledge the silly legal stuff. Then you can go through, watch this training, start your tracking, overcoming rate objections, and it just goes on and on and on and on. So, shame on us, Mike, for getting frustrated and not explaining to people the massive amount of value that's here, but trying to force somebody to do the steps or read their email and then hear them bitch about paying $200 a month. I just can't handle it anymore. So we either have to go way up or way down in price or both. And if we go way down in price, just accept the fact, tell people that they need to accept the fact that Chris is only one man based on whatever you're paying. We can't afford a whole staff of support, and Chris is going to do the best he can. He'll be back to you in 72 hours. Make sure you save this email that has all your logins. I mean, that's kind of my thought, but I'm open to your ideas.
I totally agree. I think we do both. I think we go way down. We create a baseline for people to say, hey, I'm going to pay whatever, 40, 50, whatever the number is, dollars per month. and get access to Coach Accountable. So I have an accountability program. Get access to the calls that we put on. We're going to go twice a month on calls, but you don't get me, you don't get you. Your customer service issues will be answered, but you've got to allow a little bit of time for that because, you know, we're not making money on this. We're just paying for the membership, but hopefully we can elevate those people that are paying that amount to the level where they're now in a sustainable career, they're closing more loans, and they're smart enough and have enough foresight to reinvest some of that money that they're making into themselves to pay for coaching to get to the next level. So I think we need to do both. We need the offer that honors everybody who's shown us goodwill and good faith and has taken our coaching and has increased their business and has engaged. Those people know who you are, and we know who you are. But also an offering where we can go really wide and say, hey, we want to elevate the entire industry to the best of our ability. There's not a single loan officer out there that can't afford this price point, but you need to come in at this price point and then make it on your own to get up to that next level.
I like that. So here's what I want to do. I want to make sure if we're going this direction, Chris, if you can make a note, let's cancel the billing for everybody that's currently in the program for $200 and or cancel renewals for everybody who's coming up because we had offered a pretty healthy discount. We'd offered a pretty healthy discount for people that signed up for a year. I don't want them to renew at that $1,800, $2,000 for the year. So let's cancel all the automatic billing and let's work this out right now, Mike. So we've got 1,742 people. So let's just call it, because there's like 20 pending invites. Let's say we got 1,800 people. And let's say we're offering a very low-cost product that, based on what we just walked through, I know adds a monster amount of value if people actually care. What percentage of people, A, do they care in our group out of 1,800 super engaged people on the Facebook group? And B, what percentage do you think will rip out their wallet and pay, let's just make up a number, $50 or something, what percentage do you think will engage, want some digital coaching, want some digital accountability, want to be able to see all the video, want to be in the tribe? And frankly, I'm just not going to give people access to other things. The live event, one-on-one coaching with us, a higher level. Like I'm done giving all of my free time away to people that don't value paying for it. So do you think 5%, 10%, 7%, 20%? What percentage of 1,800 people do you think will pay somewhere south of $50?
Well, I know what I'd like to see. I'd like to see 1 in 5 people do that, right? Which is 20%. But in reality, I think it's more like 1 in 20.
Okay.
Right? Which is what, 5%?
Yeah.
Is the math right at this hour?
Yes. So let's say 88 people sign up initially. And I'm going to go through our expenses. Chris costs us about $4,000 a month, let's say. Infusionsoft to send out emails, Zoom, Coach Accountable is like $4 or $5 per people for the software. So let's say that ends up being $400. $100 there. Google Storage, Google Emails, 30. So we're at, hold one.
By the way, guys, I'm adding Facebook comments to the chat window.
Thank you. We're at about $5,000 a month all in just to keep up the webinar. Divide by, let's say, 88 people. That's $57 a month. We make no money. We just pay for the overhead. We'll try to scale it. We'll get our 88 people in so that we feel good and we're not losing money and our wives don't hate us for spending money on this second career that we commit so much time to. So that's $57. I don't care if we round it to 49. If there's some marketing premise, like I'll pitch in the $8 until we scale to more members. Do you think we can get 88 members at $49? If we can't, I just want to put a bullet through my head right now.
If we can't, we shut it down. We walk away.
I think we should do double that so we can at least make our car payment. Like, I think we should have a number where if we don't get at least, make up a number, 150 people at $88 a month. And that includes all the people that are currently paying $200 a month. So they're basically just going to get a massive discount. If we can't get 150 people paying $49 a month, then let's just wind it down. Leave the Facebook group there as a cool kind of
go to one-on-one coaching.
And we'll just go to one-on-one coaching, because frankly, at our last live event, somebody that would have wrote us a check for $15,000 a year for one-on-one coaching, we handed that relationship off to Steve Scholl, my coach, because we weren't really set up for it. We wanted to help serve this middle market, but the middle market's driving me nuts.
Yeah, people spent $30,000 at our last live event, not with us, with other people, because we gave it to those people.
Right. So, all right. I'm going to go with $59 a month. Oh, and you know what the other thing? This is insane. And by the way, there's some selfish reasons for this too. Besides the knowledge vault, besides the coach accountable, starting this Monday, I'm going to go back to doing a morning lead gen call at 8:30 every morning. It helps my team. It helps the people that I'm managing. Frankly, it helps me get out of a funk every morning and commit to lead generation. So we'll throw that in. Again, you're not going to get individual question and answer time from Scott and Mike. You're not going to get us to be your one-on-one coach for your career for $59 a month, but you can jump on that live webinar. It's live every morning at 8:30. So people will get
what about offering that by itself for like 10 or 15 a month?
What's that?
What about offering that by itself for like 10 or 15 a month?
I love that idea, but I also don't want to have a bunch of different billing plans going, because then it's going to be a nightmare for you to manage. So maybe we go from like $59 a month to $69 a month and have a morning lead gen.
I mean, to say the same thing, I mean, like, I think we'd get a better idea of what people are willing to pay if you had like a $500 a month where they get one-on-one session with you and everything else, or a $15 a month for just the 61-day challenge, or $50 a month that gives them coach accountable and the webinars. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking throw prices all over the place and see what people are willing to throw at us.
I like that. I don't disagree with your idea, Chris, but I know you have some thoughts, Mike.
Yeah, let me jump in on that. I love the idea, Chris. And Scott and I have always talked about having multiple tiers of offerings, and that's really where we want to go eventually, frankly. But managing that becomes difficult, having all the different price points, and then all the people who want to climb or go down on that ladder, like, hey, I'm at this point but I want to go to this point, or I'm here but I want to go to there. That creates a whole lot of work and a whole lot of management. And so I think that we should have that as a goal, but I don't think we should get to that point until we've hit our minimum. Like Scott said, if we get 150 people to buy in at this new price point, then we know our expenses are covered and we know how much money we have to play with. Because frankly, I'm tired of losing money on this. Scott's tired of losing money on this. But if we could break even, I'd be willing to cut out multiple price points. What do you think about that, Scott?
Yeah, I like that. I also like the idea of, let's go $59, $69 a month, something like that for all of this digital activity. Again, if we're doing this, I want to set the precedent that we're going to get inundated with 100 or 200 new profiles. It's going to take a few days to work through the passwords and shit. Just bear with us. I like that. And then frankly, just charging for our time. Like, I know that I want to work 46 weeks a year. So I want to take 2 weeks a year to go to coaching events. I want to take 4 weeks a year to go on vacation with my family and sit in hotels and relax. So I want to work 46 weeks a year. I work about 50 to 55 hours of actual focus time. So 46 times 50, that's 2,300 hours. For very selfish, narcissistic reasons, I want to have a year where I make $1 million. I've never done it before. $1 million divided by 2,300 hours. Basically, my time, your time, it's worth about $400 an hour. So, one of the things that we could do is, you want to be in the tribe, you want to be in the digital application, you want to be extended and offered to come to the live event, pay $59 a month, $69 a month. We can finalize that in the next day or so. And then, hey, you need one-on-one coaching. It's $400 an hour on our schedule, or maybe we give them $300 an hour since they're in the, in the tiered ongoing. And we just offer that as one-off. We offer, and by the way, you have to be in the monthly event. You have to be working towards your goal, and you have to be doing some of the steps, because I'm not going to waste my time to coach you for an hour if you haven't gone through the first 20 action steps in digital and actually invested some time in yourself. So maybe we're $400 an hour, and then we're $600 or $700 each live event. And I think that honors the people that have been with us since the beginning, paying somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 a year at $70 a month plus $600 or $700 for a live event or whatever. they can attend everything and still be paying a little bit less than that they've been paying for the last 3 years, helping us build the tribe. Because, I've got to fall on my sword here. We've just been doing a shitty job the last 3 weeks. We've been frustrated. You and I kind of were hung over a little bit in the month of May because of how much we worked in April. I wrote the book. You started with a new company. Things just went kind of insane. I had President's Club. You had sick kids. It's like we kind of just shit the bed the last 3 weeks. And I want to honor those people that have been there since the beginning and have been paying. So like I said, I want to cancel, and Chris will do this right now, cancel all of their $200 billing, let them in for the most part, access to the same stuff for, I'm leaning towards $69 a month with the Coach Accountable, and then let them attend the live events, pay for them when they can come. And that will still be less for them than the $2,000 a month they're paying now. I feel like we'll be honoring the Marcys and the Justin Grabels and the Michael Ullmans and the Rosh Gettersays and all the people that have been there since the beginning. So is that landing okay with
Michael Ullman just made a good point that the original price for the coaching is still the only cost of 1/2 to 1 loan closed per year.
Say that again, Chris.
Michael Ullman made a point that, coaching was $1,800 a year for the last year with 2 live events. That's the commission on 1/2 to 1 loan closed per year. So people can't even invest half of
Well, so. Yeah, let me speak a little bit to that. That's the problem, right? That price point that we were at, it targets to a large extent a customer who is scratching to pay that amount and then expects a lot out of it, but isn't willing to invest the time to actually get a lot out of it. So as soon as it gets tough, they quit or they walk away. Not everybody out there is like the Michael Ullmans and the Marcys and the Pete and the Justins and the people who invested for a year, who actually show up to the coaching calls, who actually get pissed when Scott and I drop the ball and cancel a coaching call last minute, right? And who are like, this isn't right. Yeah, those people we need to honor. But I think the price point of $200 a month, it attracts the wrong customer. And so it can be counterintuitive. And that's why Scott and I have struggled. It's counterintuitive to lower the price down to $49, $59, $69, whatever that number is, because don't we just attract a lower and lower quality loan officer? Yes, but we're giving less. And it's kind of a pay to play, right? Get the basic level so we're paying our bills. So we can afford to have you in the program. We don't make anything. And if you can actually invest in yourself, then you get invited to the events. And the people that already committed to themselves, that already paid a lot, they're going to spend less. So I think it's a way to honor everybody in that situation and kind of create a little bit of accountability and say, you're either going to make it or you're not. And if you're not, get the hell out.
So you're saying that we have the possibility of, hey, if we notice that like you $60 a month member, we notice that you're super engaged, we'll give them a free invitation to the event, whereas everyone else would have to pay $600.
I mean, they're not going to come to the live event for free because Mike and I are looking at dropping $20,000 in guest speakers for the next live event. So we need to make sure that we're not losing money on that. But let me give you an example of where I think this solves a problem, Mike. At $60 a month, I don't know why we keep coming back to that, but whatever. $60 a month, $50 a month. I have no problem responding to a quick Facebook message or a text message thread. Try this, then talk to me. Whereas, if we're charging $200 or $400 or $500 a month, I start to feel like, well, I need to give them a conversation and maybe there's more of a sales pitch and I need to add more value. So I took a call when I was in Cleveland. I was at a coaching event for me and I stepped out of that coaching event to take a call from a guy who gave me just like the world's longest sob story, coming back in the business and broke and working in the airport overnight just to feed his kids. And we connected about the athletic activities his kids are in. And he said, look, man, I really honestly don't have $200 a month to coach with you. And you had put it up on Facebook that if I could prove to you that I don't spend $200 a month on cable and drinking out at Starbucks, you would do it for free so I can kickstart stuff. If we had a $50 a month offering, I would have said, look, man, I appreciate it, but my time is valuable, your time is valuable. Find $50 a month and get into the coaching. For $200, after talking to the guy for a fucking hour, I said, look, send me these 5 statistics and we'll let you into the coaching program for free. Send me how many Facebook friends you have, how many people you have in your database, how many realtors know your name, and what the pool of realtors within 2 miles of your house is. Do you have 5 offices, 10 offices, 30 offices? Send me those 4 pieces of data. I will let you in the coaching for free. Crickets. Never heard from them again. So all that was he wanted to feel better about himself, or he wanted to go be able to tell his wife he talked to a coach or talked to his manager or something. He wasted his time. He wasted my time. He had no energy around actually doing the steps and following through. And I was so angry for a week. Whereas from this point forward, that guy reached out to me. I said, great, appreciate your circumstances. Sign up for $50 a month. If you can't do that, you need to get the fuck out of the business, because we work in a fully commissioned job and you need to be able to finance $50 a month on a credit card. So that's kind of where I was at. I think this solves a lot of those problems with my frustrations, with your frustrations. It still honors the people that want to invest in themselves at an entry level. And then, you know, the live events, let's talk about that next, because we've got as much time as it takes to solve this dilemma. You know, I think $59 a month, I think $300 to $400 an hour. People want private time. I should have charged that girl $300 to help her negotiate the move from one company to another, because it was probably worth tens of thousands of dollars. And I was thinking to myself, well, there's a $200 return on investment, annual revenue stream. This will probably go on for a couple of years. The lifetime value of that client's probably $3,000 to $4,000. Yeah, it's worth my hour on a Saturday away from my kids to talk to her. Then she cancels the next month. So we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to charge upfront for hourly time. Let's talk about the live event. The live event in San Diego is absolutely a go. And I don't care if it's me and you and 3 buddies or 100 people, but I've been kicking around this idea, if we're going to raise the price, do we limit the members? Do we really make this a more intimate value add? You know, the core has done a great job of creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where they only allow top producers in. So top producers want to learn from other top producers, so they can pay $5,000 for top producers to listen to other top producers, and they all come back with the same stuff. Good customer service, have systems, send pizzas when they close escrow, and go to closings. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Like if you're in their private coaching, you got to hang out with all your buddies and make friends. If you went, you got a lot more of the same. Like, what did we do on the live event?
Yeah. Live event's tricky because we want to create a really great experience for people in the live event. And that costs a lot of money. So for those of you who are watching this who don't know what it takes to put on a live event, Scott and I dropped about $30,000 on the last one, and we didn't even bring in like a real powerful speaker. We kind of just crowdsourced from the group that we had. So we're talking to some people now that are highly, highly, highly sought after coaches and speakers. One guy that we're thinking of bringing in is like on a list of the 50 most daring entrepreneurs in the world, with like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, other people like that. That costs a lot of money to bring these people in. So we want to be able to be able to bring those people into the room. And then we also want the room to be beautiful, right? We want to be in a nice environment. We want natural light. We want healthy food. We want an epic experience. So we need to be able to charge enough for the event to hold the event that we want to have. And so that number is somewhere, Scott, based on the math that I'm doing, it's somewhere between $600 and $1,000 per person per event. And that means we need to get at least 50 people paying that to each event in order to hold a basic great event.
And, you know, it'd also be cool if one day, like you and I made a few bucks. I don't know, maybe pay off a credit card or buy my wife some Jimmy Choo shoes or something like that. Or those
one step at a time, man.
Yeah. Maybe we can make a few bucks off of like the fact that we pay for all of this stuff to learn ourselves to bring back to the group. So, you know, I kind of like the idea of maybe capping the total room size at 100 people, because you and I have the blueprint from Hal Elrod and John Vroman and people that we've learned from in that industry. We have the blueprint to push out a bunch of Facebook ads, drop the price, have the discount code, fill a room with 400 or 500 people. And that sounds miserable to me because it's so much harder to break into small groups, learn from the collective knowledge. Like this idea of if you and I both wanted to make $10,000 off of the event, spend $20,000 on speakers, overhead, travel, bringing in the top-notch DJ and audio equipment that we're going to have at this September event. You know, I'm thinking same thing. We've got to make, with some margin for error and some margin for profit, $50,000, $60,000. Divide by 100 people. Let's say 10 of them are free because they're guests that are going to present at the event and add value. So if we just took 50,000, divide by, let's say 85 people, That's $588 a person. Yeah. So you're right between $600 and $1,000, depending on how many people we can fill the room. I think maybe we split the difference and go $700 for a 3-day event.
Why don't we tier that and sell the first 10 tickets at $599, then 11 through 30 at $699, and so on and so forth.
Oh, that's daring. There'd be like a huge incentive for getting in early. Michael Ullman already has out his credit card. He's like, how can I pay $599 and not $899?
He just texted me a picture of his credit card.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't like playing those games if some people get a discount and some people don't, but there is a way to honor the
3 years trying to not play games, and it's not really panning out, so maybe we should play a couple games.
So what if we did Scott, you threw out a number of 588, and we said we need at least, what do we need? How many people? We need 100 people?
We need 85 people at
85 people. What if we did the first 20 tickets at 588, and after that it goes full price?
We had talked about like 700, somewhere in there.
Yeah, well, you can't have 700 because there's a psychology of sales, so we have to make it like 697 or something like that.
Okay, 697. So they get $100 off for being the first 20 people. That just feels dirty. It's like, yes, I want to give Michael Ullman $100, and I'm just busting his balls because he's on here live.
It's capitalism, man. Yeah,
I think if we hit those 88 tickets and we cover the fee of it, bump the price up another $100.
Or we commit to reinvest that extra money into something that delivers extra value at the event, so people get that investment back in quality.
I like that. 20 tickets at $588, and then the next 65 tickets. 65 tickets at $697.
Somebody writing this down?
I'm writing it down.
By the way, if anybody's watching and thinking that like we made this up beforehand, this is totally off the cuff.
Yeah. No, this is the most live discussion. I mean, this morning we talked and I was about ready to burn the whole fucker down. I was like, burn it down, Pookie. I don't care. I'm going to go originate 2 more loans a month, and everybody can piss off and don't talk to me. I'll hand you over to other coaches. But I want to do this. I like doing it. I like coaching people. Like we said at the beginning of the call, Justin said, you and I are intellectual philanthropists. Like, we like giving back this shit that we have spent 15 years, 20 years learning. So I want to do it. I just don't want my wife to look at the credit card statement every month and be like, man, is this really worth your time? Like, God bless you, but you're spending time away from the family and not really making any money. All right, so this is what we got. We've got $59 for this, just a synopsis here. $59 for monthly digital coaching only, and average to slightly below average customer service from Chris DeRosa. He will get to your emails within 72 hours and reset your passwords and all that stuff. That monthly coaching gets you access to the Knowledge Vault, which, Jesus, man, we should be selling that for like $1,000 a month, but I digress. Access to the Knowledge Vault. We will enroll you in Coach Accountable, which gives you kind of digital prompts to watch a bunch of the videos in the Knowledge Vault, plus daily text message accountability. And then it also gives you access, which you will have to register. I will send you, if you sign up the link, you will have to register to the morning webinar live on lead generation starting next Monday, every morning at 8:30. You get all of that for $59. I feel like an infomercial right now, but I'm simultaneously excited, but in the pit of my stomach, I'm just like, I can't believe we're giving this away for $59. But anyway, I digress. And if we don't get 150 people to sign up by next Monday, we're out. We're not doing the digital. And just, some people are asking, what does it cost currently for monthly coaching? It's $200 a month. So we're basically going to give everybody the same access to everything. We're going to drop it by 75%. Painful, but if that gets 150 people in, and that builds the tribe, and that gets more people, awesome. Then the live event. Chris, can you look at when the live event is in San Diego? I think it's in September. Just look that up real quick. Live event's going to be $588 for the first 20 people that sign up for San Diego. Then it's going to go to $697. We're going to cap it at 85 paying members, maybe 5 guests or so that we can so that we can bring in some guests, some special speakers, some other top producers. I've got a couple from around the nation at different companies who want to come talk. So that'll be 85 paid people, maybe 90 people total in the room. And then if I get a Facebook message, if I get a email saying I really need one-on-one coaching, cool, man. You can get Mike or me, or half an hour each for, $400 an hour. Schedule that call with Chris. He'll set it up, and we'll give you insane one-on-one coaching to walk you through all of your dilemmas, your HR issues, your file flow problems, your whatever, insert problem there. So we've kind of ended up with 3 price points of $400 an hour private coaching, which maybe one day morphs into we actually take on $2,000 a month private coaching clients like they do in the core, because I know between you and I, we can add a massive amount of value. We've got 59-ish bucks a month. Chris, you're going to have a lot of management to do on email for the next month.
Hey, bring it. I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect.
Live event is Thursday the 13th through Sunday the 16th.
Okay, Thursday, September what?
13th.
Through Saturday what?
The 15th.
Okay, perfect. So,
but it says we'll be there till Sunday the 16th.
Yeah. So Chris, can you post as me a couple things? Reminder that the live event, you need to get into town the afternoon of Thursday, September 13th. You have to get into San Diego Thursday afternoon, September 13th, and don't plan to leave until Sunday morning the 16th, because we're probably going to go late on Saturday. And then in our email, there is a link to the room discount code for the Hilton in San Diego we're going to be staying. Let's get that link out to everybody. And then, Mike, can you build the Infusionsoft link right now, actually, for $588 for the live event, and make sure all the other billing has been canceled so that nobody gets renewed this week or the first week of June for their $200 coaching?
Sure.
I like Michael Fisher's comment. What we're really addressing here is margin compression. We've got $200 to $59. Margin compression. Great.
Nice, Fisher.
I hope you're still watching, because that's the zinger of the day. Made me smile.
Think we can get Fisher to pay $59 a month?
Oh, yeah. Michael Fisher's comment. What we're really addressing. We're going to get him to spend $59 a month, and we're going to get him to come back out to San Diego. The only reason I didn't actually go down to his VA seminar that he did in San Diego, since it was so close, it was at the President's Club in next door. I would have gone down there and attended, checked it out, tried to add some value, because his group is also very interactive. And, frankly, one thing that might be a nice byproduct, Mike, is if we're at this low price of $59 a month and we're not cannibalizing the available assets that people have to pay for coaching, maybe people like Michael Fisher or Todd Duncan or other people who we've had conversations with will be willing to pitch a program at $59 a month, because they know those people can still afford to attend their $500 seminar or whatever, because $59 a month isn't going to break the bank. Maybe we'll get some reciprocal love or something like that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Real quick, with the Knowledge Vault, the Coach Accountable, the 8:30 every morning lead generation, we're also committing to 2 live webinars. Mike, do we want to just say those are always like the first and third Thursday of the month, so nobody has any excuse for, oh man, I didn't get the email notification of when it is, right? It's always come fucking hell or high water the first and third Thursday of the month. And if it's New Year's Day and I'm hungover, Chris will jump on and say, hey guys, I'm going to click replay of one of the videos in the Knowledge Vault.
Yeah, first and third Thursday of every month, without fail, unless it's previously announced that we're rescheduling for whatever holiday or whatever reason. It's going to be one
Thanksgiving. I'm going to commit to first and third Thursday unless it happens to fall on Thanksgiving.
Well, it's very likely that it will fall on Thanksgiving.
Right. It may. Right. And there's one teaching call and one like special guest coach call.
Nice. Okay.
By the way, I just posted a link in the chat box that I literally just created. I'm not sure it works, but that is for the first 20 tickets.
It works.
588. We will be tracking this. It appears that it's working.
I just clicked on it. It works. I'm going to go make a bit.ly right now. So Chris, let's get a Let's get an email together if you can help craft it so we can send it out to all of our existing coaching members. And frankly, the people that work for me, they're paying $59 a month. Like, I love them to death, but they're getting so much free coaching. Cole, Arash, you guys, I'm talking to you. They're getting so much free coaching. They're going to pitch in $59 a month to help pay for the technology side of it. So I don't have to keep eating $300 a month on Infusionsoft, on Zoom, on Coach Accountable that other people aren't pitching in. So let's commit to that. Mike, you need to hold me accountable to that because I'm a sweetheart and I keep giving people free stuff.
Yeah. And I'd like to offer anybody that works with Scott Groves, I'm willing to coach you one-on-one for an hour a month on dealing with Scott Groves.
Yes. How to deal with the emotion of Scott Groves. So I'll get the bit link out. Chris, why don't you get an email together? Just type up something quick that has the San Diego payment link. I'll send that to you in a minute from Bitly. It has the San Diego discounted hotel room link. This email serves as confirmation that you will never be charged $200 again from Consolidated Coaching. And here's a link to sign up for $59 a month. Mike, can you?
We're not automatically converting the 199s to 59.
No, let's let them sign up again because I don't want anybody to think we charged them without their notification. Yeah. If they're mad at us, this gives them their opportunity to opt out and they can jump back. Yeah.
Starting tomorrow, everybody's out. You have to re-sign up if you want in. And to address anybody who paid annually, your subscription, this is your last month for most people. We'll go back and make sure, but we'll address you one-on-one to make sure that you're, appropriately compensated and dealt with for the annual subscription that you committed to up front. But most of them came through late last May, early last June.
Yeah, I think everybody except for maybe Jeremy Rigdon out in Florida and maybe one of the gals, I think everybody that paid for a whole year in advance, their renewals start like tomorrow through the middle of June. Yeah. So I feel good about canceling all charges on Infusionsoft and let's start over fresh. $59. Mike, can you create a $59 monthly reoccurring billing, or is that harder? Can you do that just as quickly as you did the live event?
I'll do it, but I don't think I do it as quickly. But I'll get it up by tomorrow morning.
Take your time. Okay, the San Diego live event. Let's copy this. Chris,
so everybody expects that email at some point tomorrow morning / afternoon.
Yeah. Let's send that email out tomorrow. Let everybody know. Chris, can you click this CC San Diego live link on Bitly and see if that brings up the payment link to pay for the San Diego event, 588.
No, it linked to Zoom.
Yeah, well, that's a problem. All right, so we're going to change that. Okay, so that's that. Infusionsoft. Let's go back to Bitly. Let's change this. Edit that. Customize.
Scott, what's tomorrow's date? The 29th? 30th?
What's that?
What's tomorrow's date?
Tomorrow's the 29th.
I'm going to bill every 29th of the month, $59.
All right, what is going on here? Paste the long URL. Oh, that doesn't work. All right, I will get this Bitly over to you. Anything else we need to discuss when we're here, bro?
Not that I can think of.
I like the idea of us being super transparent about this. I think we should let the group know what our progress is and, if we're going to call it quits or not, because we do need their participation in keeping this going, especially me. This is my job. I need this.
Yeah. 150 people are bust. Like, I wrote that down right here on the book. Like 150 people are bust. We got to get 150 people to sign up for $59 a month. Or yeah, you're right, Chris, your salary is not covered. The hard costs of the program aren't covered. Now, look, would I love to scale this to 1,000 people? And Mike and I are splitting up 50 grand in override and we're giving you a couple $1,000 bonus. That would be awesome. Chris, maybe we can come up some type of incentive program after we hit, 250, 350, 450 for you. Yeah, I think that's the way to go, that we try to scale this to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people spending $59 a month. And all of a sudden this call becomes kind of laughable that we didn't do this earlier. But if we don't get at least 150 people in the next, call it 10 days, I'm just shutting it down, and we'll do a live event in Cabo once a year for our closest friends, and we'll call it a coaching event, but we'll really just drink and go crazy and hang out with the family and then sneak over to the strip club at night or something.
By the way, I just posted the link to the $59 a month.
And there is a Tijuana right next door to San Diego, if that's your thing.
There we go. If you can do me a favor, okay, we need to figure out these bit links. We'll figure out the bit links now. Mike, if you could shoot me an email with everything you have, let's start one email chain with the San Diego discount link, the live event link, the $59. Which one's the $59 link?
The second, the last one in there.
The last one in there. Okay. If you're watching this video, if you're one of the 16 people that have stayed on strong through the entire thing, first of all, we appreciate you. Second of all, sign up for $59 a month, and it'll take a few days for us to get everything situated, but we won't let you down. All right, man. I'm going to end the Facebook Live. Let's stay on for a few minutes and recap everything that we need to do to get this going.
Sounds good.
All right. You got to end the streaming because you're the host, Mike.
Okay.
Thanks, all.
Mary, make sure
you guys
watch this when we repost it because there's a lot of good information.
Cool. Thanks, man.